All right, guys, we're going to talk about the rules of glazing. When you paint your pottery, it's called glazing. And it is one of the final steps when making pottery. And it gets this shiny outer layer. So we're going to talk about the rules of glazing today. And there's a lot of rules, so make sure you're paying attention. The first rule that we're going to talk about is when you're glazing your pottery. This is something you might be getting back today. The first rule is that you want to make sure to cover everything, okay? So if you're glazing your pinch pot here, you want to make sure to add 2 or 3 layers, okay? So what that means is that if you glazed the outside of your pinch pot, this is a brown, then right on top of where you already put glaze, you're gonna add another layer of glaze, okay? When you are glazing, you need 2 or 3 layers, 2 or 3 layers of glaze. All right, second rule of glazing is that we never mix the color. So if I had brown on my brush, I'm not gonna stick it in this green. I would just rinse my brush in a water cup. If you walk to a station, you should always make sure to rinse the brush before sticking it into whatever color is there. Because if you go to a station that has black and white glaze and you pick out a brush and you dip it in the white and somebody just before you used the black, then that could cause the white to be ruined. So always rinse your brush before changing to a different color. So 2 or 3 layers of glaze, okay? Second rule is that when you're glazing, you want to cover all the white areas. This person did a pretty good job, I would say. Except if you look closely, you'll notice that there are some white areas here that this person could have tried a little bit harder and gotten in some of those areas. And some of your pottery has a lot of texture on it. So that means it's going to be hard to get in some of those textured areas. So you may have to poke your brush, turn your pottery so that you can actually see and get inside of some of these areas, because you may not know that you're leaving areas white. So I'm glazing the inside of this pinch pot red. Even though this looks pink, it will turn red. So the glaze that's in front of you is not actually the color it's going to be when it comes out of the kiln, okay? So this is my red glaze. I just put 1 coat in there, so I will have to add another layer in a second. This is what it looks like today, but this is the color it's going to look like when it comes out of the kiln. So the color is slightly different. It's shinier, okay? All right, so you need 2 or 3 layers. Cover up all the white spots. So see this section right here where my brown and my red are separate and there's a little white area showing? I would need to cover that up and add another layer of red in here. Okay, so you want to cover up all the white areas. All right, last rule of glazing is that you never want to glaze the bottom, okay? You can glaze all the way along the edges, but you never want to put glaze on the bottom. That's because it sits in my kiln. And if glaze turns to glass and it's sitting on a shelf, well, it's going to get stuck. So if there's any glaze on the bottom, it will need to get wiped off, okay? And the teacher in the room can help you wipe off and make sure your bottom does not have any glaze on it, particularly anywhere that has your name on it. So you will have your name written and then your class code. Don't put glaze on there, but you can, like I said, put glaze all the way along the edges of your pieces or inside of your pieces, because that doesn't touch the shelf. But just not anywhere that would touch a shelf on the bottom, okay? All right, now we're gonna go into specific projects, all right? So, kindergartners, you guys are doing pinch pots. You can pick 2 colors, okay? If you want your pinch pot to all be the same color, you can make it the same color, okay? Or you can make the inside of your pinch pot one color and the outside of your pinch pot a different color. That's totally up to you. So 2 colors, kindergartners, pinch pots. All right, first graders, you guys are doing owls, okay? You can use warm colors on your owls, all right? So you can use colors like white, brown, you can use orange, you can use yellow. We're not going to use green, blue. We're actually not going to use red either. Also, for your owls, the wings have to match. So if you are glazing the wings, you cannot have a yellow wing and an orange wing. You have to have them the same color. You can use yellow or you can use orange, but they should both match, okay? Your head right here does not have to be the same color. Your body right here does not have to be the same color. So you can pick what areas you want to be white, what areas you want different colors. Just make sure that you're rinsing your brush. When you guys are glazing today, you're going to be getting a plate. You will be walking around to different tables to glaze. At red table, I'll have red glaze. At orange table, I'll have orange glaze. So there will be about 6 or 7 paint brushes. If there is a paintbrush for you to use, you can glaze there. If you go to a table and there is not a paintbrush for you to use, then you need to wait and go to a different table. Okay, so make sure that there is a paintbrush for you to use. There may not be a seat for you to sit at, but as long as there is a paintbrush there, you can use it. When you get done glazing at a table, you'll put your brush back, you will pick up your plate with your pottery and go to a different glazing station. Some of you may have artwork that is very tippy. So I highly recommend holding the top of your artwork and the plate. Do not just hold your plate. I'm sure most of you have seen in the cafeteria, somebody's holding their lunch tray and down falls their orange, down falls their apple. That's because they weren't holding it. It just rolls right off. Your pottery will roll right off this plate if you're not holding both, okay? All right, so 2 or 3 layers of glaze. Do not mix the colors. Rinse your brush. If you want an area to be white and shiny, then you need to glaze it white. These eyes right here have been glazed white, but this part right here, this person missed, and they could have added glaze under there, and it just looks like it's not really finished. There's a lot of good areas on this pottery, but some of it is not finished. So I'm going to show you another one, okay? These are little gnome houses. This is great. This person did 2 or 3 layers, and they really made sure to put glaze in areas and covered up all of that white. And they also didn't glaze the bottom. They glazed the edges, but not the bottom. All right, so next we have our monsters, okay? There's a rule for glazing monsters. Your skin color, all of your skin color should be one color. Your tongue can be a different color. Your eyes can be different colors. That's fine. But your skin should be all one color. We're not doing rainbow skin colors, okay? For your fish, if you did a fish, you're going to pick a color scheme. So you're either going to pick warm colors or you're going to pick cool colors for your fish, all right? Warm colors are colors like red, orange, or yellow. So this person picked a, what color scheme? That's right, they picked a warm color scheme. So they glazed their fish all things that were warm colors. This person picked a, that's right, cool color scheme. So they picked colors like blue and yellow, or I'm sorry, blue and green, and they added it to their fish, all right? Black and white don't count towards your colors. So you can use black and white in a warm color scheme or a cool color scheme. Either one. All right, guys, that's the rules for glazing. Just remember 2 or 3 layers or else the colors are not going to be as vibrant. Cover up all those white spots. Don't glaze the bottom. And if you do, the teacher will have to wipe that off. And then if you do want an area to be white, then you need to go to the white table that has white glaze and glaze it white. If you do not add the white glaze, it will not be white and it will not be shiny. It doesn't magically get glaze there. It just stays white. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video and I'll see you next time.